Hi, y'all. I wanted to give you an update on what is going on with my formal complaint against Deputy Rivas of the Walker County Sheriff's Department here in Texas. So I filed my formal complaint on February 10th for the incident that happened on February 7th of 2026 when I was merely sleeping in a parking lot, driving home very sleepy from work on the evening of the 6th of February. So I pulled into a parking lot, an empty parking lot, an open parking lot where a business was closed. It was actually for rent. I pulled in there to sleep. There were no trespassing signs posted. And of course, nobody came out at 1:30 in the morning, or actually I was actually there a little bit earlier than that. I'm not exactly sure what time, but I wasn't asked to leave. And again, all I was doing was sleeping. I was protecting myself and other people from being on the road sleepy. Well, Brian Rivas pulled up to my vehicle behind me, woke me up, never even introduced himself, didn't identify himself at all. I didn't even know he was Walker County until I got out of my vehicle and looked at his cruiser myself. But he asked for my license, and upon finding out that my license was clear, that there were no warrants, he should have let me go. But he didn't. He then asked and I told him that I was driving home tired from work, that I was a licensed 2 security officer in College Station, and he used that as an entry point to ask me if my job entails me to work armed or unarmed. And this was after he found out that my license was clear. And I told him unarmed. Well, he saw that it was an open door to ask me for access to my firearm. Greatly perturbed and curious to see how far he was going to take it, I gave him the access. Well, he didn't just look at my gun and evaluated it. No, he wanted to go tear it apart, examine it to see if it had been fired. He did all of that out of the way of his body cam and his dash cam video. But then he called the serial number in, found out it was clear. Then needed to do, after asking me if I was a felon and me telling him already that I had a Security 2 license, is when he asked me if I was a felon while he's taking my gun apart. You know, what I view to be as an intimidation tactic. Well, it didn't work. It just made me mad. But you call it in, you get that it's cleared. But you didn't even stop there. He then asked dispatch, not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times, y'all. If I was clear. In my background check, when dispatcher told him the first time, she's clear. He asked the second time, oh, so she's clear. He asked the third time, so no felonies. He was unlawfully probing, y'all. I don't care how you look at it. Common sense would tell you he was unlawfully probing. I was doing nothing wrong, committing no crime, and when he found out that I was clear on my license is when he should have let me go, because that is the probe of your investigation right there. I'm sleeping in a parking lot on private property. He had no right to tell me to leave. It's not his property. He probably had a reason to ask me what I was doing there, but he had no right to tell me to leave. And everything after that was unlawful. He had no probable cause to ask me for my weapon, and I didn't have to give it to him, but I really was so curious, y'all, as to how far he was going to go. And it was clear it was not his first time, that he was so incredibly comfortable with being that bold. Then you have me step out in front of your vehicle so I can be on your dash cam while you examine my weapon off of your dash cam view, out of the way of your body cam view. You were so sure that you had a hardened criminal. And then you want to tell me, oh, well, I can tell you, anybody can tell me that they have a Security 2 license. Who's going to pull that out of their ass? I can assure you a felon is not going to tell you they have a Security 2 license. But he couldn't even tell me where one comes from. So that is how ignorant he is to the law, y'all. I asked him several times, tell me how to get one. He should have been able to tell me that your license is ran through the Texas Department of Public Safety and you have to go through a background check. Not just state, but federal. But no, he was too ignorant to tell me that. All the while unlawfully depriving me of my rights. So we go through all of that. 12 minutes and 41 seconds I was detained unlawfully harassed, unlawfully intimidated. Then you ask me if you can put my weapon back. I give you permission to put my weapon back. I do not give you explicit verbal permission or implied permission to go through my console or my glove box. You deprived me of my Fourth Amendment right. For what? If you would have found anything, Deputy Rivas, it would have been inadmissible. Because it was unlawful for you to check it anyway. But you did it because you've done it before and you've gotten away with it. You didn't expect that you would have an intelligent person who knows her rights and who knows how to request through the Texas Public Information Act the video dash cam and your body cam footage. And I want to make it very clear, y'all. You can go back and look at the videos. They're on my YouTube channel under Cynthia Russell. But he felt very comfortable to do that because I was in the back and he didn't think I was paying attention. Well, I wasn't paying attention back there. I was mad. I was sleepy. I was aggravated. And I couldn't believe he had the audacity and the boldness, the arrogance to do what he was doing under the color of law. But he did it because it's not the first time he's done it. And he's gotten away with it before. Well, he didn't get away with it this time. On the 10th of February, I submitted a formal written complaint to Walker County Sheriff's, to the Walker County Sheriff Department. I've not heard a word from the lieutenant who is supposed to be investigating the issue. So when I obtained the video through the Public Information Act request, they're in plain day, y'all. They're in plain sight. For 12 seconds, Deputy Rivas unlawfully went through my console and my glove compartment without my permission Me giving him permission to put my gun back does not give him permission to search my console or my glove box. And if it did, then when I gave him permission to obtain my gun from my console, he would have searched my console when I was paying attention to what he was doing. But he knew he did not have permission, but yet he did it anyway because he thought he would get away with it. But let's say that I was, by some people's unfounded belief, that I'm not supposed to be sleeping in an open parking lot on private property. Let's say it was against the law. Brian Rivas, Deputy Rivas, cannot give me a citation because it's not his property and because there's not an owner present to press the charges because it's private property. Furthermore, the scope of his investigation would have been, why are you sleeping on here? When he found out that my license was clear, that's the end of that. You back up, you leave me alone. I either get to go home or I can continue sleeping in a parking lot that has no trespassing signs posted. There were not any. Or you have the owner come and tell me to leave. Those are your two options. You don't get to ask me for my weapon. Everything after that was a unlawful probe, ending with unlawful search. If I don't stand up for myself for this little bitty thing, people think this is a little bitty thing. No, it's not a little bitty thing. Because clearly he's done it before. He felt so comfortable doing it to me. He has done this before. How many times, y'all? How many times? How many times has he done it and gotten away with it? How many times, how many other people has he done this to who have been falsely arrested, falsely accused, and didn't have a leg to stand on because they didn't know their rights, didn't think anybody was going to believe them, or they were in fear of retaliation of some kind? He didn't plan on me being intelligent and knowing my rights. But I am and I do. So when I clearly found out that he did search my vehicle, it's not on his body cam. You can't see him doing it, but you hear him doing it. You can hear that open, right? You hear me rummaging? You hear me close it? You hear me open my glove box? You hear that? You hear me close it? For 12 seconds. For 12 seconds. I'm going to file another formal complaint with Sheriff McRae. I've already sent him an email letting him know that I gave him the opportunity to do what was right as the sheriff of Walker County. And as much as they may think that my complaint is frivolous, it's not. And if they would have done their due diligence to look at the videos themselves, really look at the videos, they would have called a spade when they seen it. I would have heard, hey, we're investigating this. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. This is not how we expect our officers to act. But no, not a word. Because they thought I would just let it go. I'm not. I'm not going to let it go. I'm not. I'm going to take it to the fullest extent of the law, wherever that ends up. Even into civil court, y'all. Because I don't want what happened to me to happen to another human being. We have laws to protect us for a reason. Our laws don't just protect law enforcement, they protect citizens from exactly what happened to me from happening. Not only am I going to file another formal complaint, but I don't trust that Sheriff McRae or his lieutenant is going to investigate anything, so I am filing a formal complaint with the Texas Commission of Law Enforcement against Deputy Rivas, against Sheriff McRae, and against the lieutenant whose name I do not know, well, because he hasn't reached out to me. But I am also going to file a complaint with the Texas Department of Public Safety and their Texas Rangers Division that investigates corrupt police officers. That is what I'm going to do. I implore you, the public, to learn your laws of your state and your county. Learn them so that you have something to fight with when you are done wrong. Learn how to use the Texas Public Information Act and the Federal Information, the FOIA. I can't remember what FOIA stands for, but FOIA. Learn how to use it, y'all. I'm sorry, I can't remember what FOIA means. But it's what you would use to get public information on a federal agency. Learn how to use them. Stand up for yourself. Because you're not just standing up for yourself, you're standing up for the next person that comes after you. You're standing up for the person that was before you. Because the right thing to do in this instance would have been to pull all of his cases and investigate his past cases. Because you were brazen enough, Deputy Rivas, to do it to me. It was not your first time. It was just the first time that you got caught. And again, for the law enforcement officers who have integrity and honor, thank you for your service. Thank you that you keep our communities safe, guarded and protected, and that you care to do the right thing, not just make a name for yourself and abuse your power. I am grateful for you. God bless y'all.